My name is Ohad Maiman, CEO of the Kingfish company, and I'm excited to present to you today at Aquanor 2021. The Kingfish company is a vertically integrated land-based aquaculture company, currently operating a 1,250-ton installed capacity farm in the Netherlands, undergoing expansion to more than double to 3,000 tons, as well as a second site in Maine for the US market. 2020 was a challenging year, in particular to the seafood industry, where markets shifted overnight, and we kept quite busy reallocating our volumes, as well as working on a listing in Oslo Stock Exchange that concluded in November last year. Today's focus will be on the overall impact of COVID-19, what it means for local demand and local supply, and why sustainability has become even more relevant during the pandemic, and to touch on how it benefits the Kingfish company and local producers in Ras. Amongst the most noticeable impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic were the shutdown of HoReCa, restaurants, hotels, fish markets, even some fresh counters, as well as difficulties in logistics of flying fresh products across continent and borders. That eliminated essentially a major market for seafood. At the same time, people still need to eat, and that's part of the strength of seafood. And what we saw is that for local producers with retail-ready product, there were new opportunities that opened up. Another impact of the pandemic was that people spent more time at home, and after making their favorite dishes 5 times over, started looking into more sophisticated cooking and or other alternatives. And we saw quite a pickup at home cooking and retail. So while it is generally good business sense to diversify clients and distribution channels, I can say no one expected the major shift of COVID-19, and yet for producers that were ready to go into retail, that presented quite some new opportunities. What we found is that following a swift pivot in sales products and distribution channel mix, we were able to supply high-spec, retail-ready products, IVP, boneless, skinless, fixed-weight portions, and that enabled us through 2020 to achieve some major milestones, such as launching nationally in Whole Foods in the US, as well as Whole Foods in the UK, and several major retail outlets in Europe. That shift enabled us to maintain pre-pandemic sales volumes and price point throughout 2020. And now in 2021, where we start seeing some normalization, we maintain an emphasis on an even distribution of our sales channel between restaurant and retail, taking advantage of the new opportunities and doors opened during the pandemic. Another interesting aspect of the global lockdown was an almost perfect storm of the combination of people staying at home, seemingly everyone watching Netflix, and a movie such as Conspiracy coming down to become a popular hot topic for a week or a month. What we saw is that raised the public discussion on sustainability to new levels, with consumers that previously did not know the term now asking how much forage fish is in the feed of fish that they eat. We saw additionally a strengthening of a patriotic sense and some sort of almost food nationalism, where from retailers to the customers, there was an emphasis on supporting local production versus imports. So while sustainability has always been at the core of the Kingfish company, we saw the 2020 and the pandemic and ensuing social, cultural shifts as a reason to even further refine what we call our mission to make the perfect fish.
We're on a mission to make the perfect fish, harnessing the power of nature and of cutting-edge technology, delivering a healthy, top-quality product while protecting the environment. The story of our Dutch yellowtail begins with an egg, coming from a selected parent group in our full-cycle hatchery, carefully nurtured through the first steps of life by our hatchery specialists. Once our fish reach the size of fingerlings, the journey continues to the grow-out system, cared for by a dedicated team of professionals, assuring optimal conditions 24/7, all year round. At the Kingfish Company, we follow the lead of nature itself, mitigating our footprint at every step. Our fish is raised antibiotics-free, a green choice by the leading environmental organizations, and has attained the most demanding certifications. Endorsed by top chefs around the world for its taste, sustainability, and versatility. As we strive for uncompromising quality and sustainability, we harvest and process our fish daily to order and make sure our customers receive the best possible product year-round. The future of fish is here.
Taking into account the mental shift towards sustainability and local production, combined with the overall growth of seafood demand expected to double by 2050 and approximately 40% higher demand than supply in Europe and the US, we see a need for a third way, and we consider land-based aquaculture to be mature and ready to take its part. Wild-caught and traditional aquaculture can be done sustainably and are not going anywhere. We expect them to continue to output at a steady pace, but we do see a need for an additional supply that cannot be met with current methods and technologies. Coupled with the requirements of the market and the shifting attitudes, we believe RAS is here to take its part. To conclude, I would like to share a few thoughts in where, in our view, RAS fits into the global seafood supply chain. As with any new disruptive technology, there is often an early discussion on whether it will change everything, replace everything, and be a new way. And in our view, RAS has an important part to play in adding to global seafood supply, but it is not a magic bullet for every species everywhere. We believe that it is important to choose the right species in the right market. In our case, we focus on high-value, import-dependent, where we have a competitive edge in producing locally. And of course, beyond the compelling and solid business case, it comes down to performance. If a system is designed for 1,000 tons, it should produce 1,000 tons. And we have been extremely proud of our team that has managed to reach and then significantly exceed design capacity. With that in mind, we do view land-based RAS as a sector that has reached maturity and crossed the Rubicon from an experimental to a viable and proven production method, and look forward to take our part, along with our colleagues, as a third leg for seafood to continuously improve sustainability and meet global demands. Thank you all for listening, and we look forward to the next 3 days of Aquanor.